So, today, I want to talk a little bit about like things like cravings, and why do we, why do we get these sorts of cravings for food that we, sometimes know that we shouldn't eat, or maybe it's not so bad, but I sort of need to wash this. Sorry. I was thinking about the way we, when you want to try and keep your weight under control, it's obviously all about what you eat. Anyone who tries to tell you that, it's just about doing this fitness campaign, or, doing that, this, that, the other, do these sets of exercises for 90 days and you'll get a six-pack. I mean, it's just all nonsense. The only way, especially when you get older, the only way that you're going to keep stuff under control is basically by watching what you eat. So, with that in mind, another pause for the water. With that in mind, I put a tweet out the other day, sort of like trying to compare. Well, I was being provocative, but comparing, say, like the way you treat someone who's an alcoholic compared to someone who's trying to who's like obsessed with food. Like if someone was an alcoholic and you just said to them, look, just take a shot of vodka with every meal and then you'll be fine. Nobody would suggest that, because it's just like, you say, no, obviously alcohol's bad, but if you just control your cravings by one shot, then maybe you can do it. That's just nonsense. So it's kind of like the same way that, I'm not saying that alcoholism isn't an addiction and stuff like that. I was just like, it was a metaphor. But anyway, it's kind of like the same idea when like let's just control calories, and that way we'll just, so it doesn't matter what crap you eat, just as long as you're under a certain amount, then, if you've got your 500 calorie deficit a day, then you'll be fine and everything's good. And it doesn't matter what you eat as long as like you're under a certain amount of calories. And like, a lot of people try and sell you that. There's loads of people, and there are lots of people on YouTube who've got like really good bodies who will try and sell you this whole, just eat whatever you want kind of crap, but keep the calories down and you'll be fine. And it's like, maybe when you're in your 20s that can work, and maybe if you have got an exceptional fitness regime of like, where you are literally a bodybuilder or something, then, maybe that can work. But for just like, the average Joe like me, I can't do that. That just won't work. My phone is doing my head in. Right. Hopefully we won't hear that anymore. So, so that got me to thinking about, well, I basically, one of the things, so I've put out a free eBook, which is the 30-day Dad Bod Buster Challenge. And part of what I say to it, so like, sign up for it, it's free. But one of the things in it is like basically that I didn't like manage to get my weight under control until like I got me like emotions under control, like, and I saying like in the ebook, I got me head in the right place. And I got thinking about this, because it's like, obviously, there are lots of moving pieces like involved in getting your head in the right space. But one of them is very much Um, like, it's not being obsessed by food. So like that's one of the things that even recently when I've like about a year ago I decided to experiment with like going on a diet, and I haven't really, I don't think I've ever been on a diet before like that, in the sense of like I'll just track me, the only thing I'm interested in is how many calories am I going to eat, and so that doesn't go in the fridge, and so I did it, and I did lose weight, it was fine, but I did find myself like tending towards eating things that I didn't really think were going to be very healthy for me. So like I found that I could sort of manage hunger quite more effectively by like eating a lot of fat. So I was eating a lot of Gouda cheese, and I didn't have any, there was nothing that affected my health in a bad way or anything like that. I just did it. I lost some weight and just thought, yeah, that works and stuff. But I knew in my heart of hearts that I couldn't, it wasn't a good way to be losing. It's much better to sort of have stuff under control. Excuse me, the coconut oil. It's much more effective to have stuff under control and just like basically eat a kind of healthy way rather than tracking your calories so crazily. And I was basically just obsessed by food. Well, I mean, I wasn't obsessed, but it was sort of like always on my mind, and I always had like this underlying hunger. But so that I got to thinking, like I revisited those thoughts, and I was thinking about like food cravings and things like that, and it's given that nobody likes being fat, in the sense that there's very few places in the world where it's not like a stigma to, well, at least in the Occidental world, where it's not like a stigma to be overweight. No one likes it. So why do we have so many obese people around at the moment? And it's kind of like, I'm sure that it's not just a case of everyone being a sucker for the mouth pleasure. I'm really sure it's not that. And then I was listening to I'm always listening to podcasts and stuff like that, and someone brought up that a lot of like obsessive compulsive eating, it could be down to your body craving certain minerals, and so I sort of like, I was wondering about this, and so one of the examples that this guy was giving me was like, he said, maybe imagine, so like chocolate has got some magnesium in it, and imagine if you're magnesium deficient, then like your body associates chocolate with magnesium, and apparently like almost everyone's magnesium deficient. And I've been thinking about this for like a while, because I do tend to suffer from I get cramps in the calves in the night, and it's only when I start to wake up and I think I stretch in a certain way, and I get cramps. And like I've tried a bunch of things. I tried, like I was taking AG1 for almost a year, and that didn't help at all. I got some magnesium supplements, and that didn't help. I was taking that for months and nothing happened, although I think I know why now. And I've sort of like, I've kind of, they're not as bad lately, but I still get them. And I was thinking about it, and I think so the cravings that we get, don't worry, this is kind of, I hope this will come together in some sort of coherent way in a minute. So, like depending on what you're actually used to eating, your body will know or like will associate certain foods with minerals. So for instance, for me, I don't really eat chocolate. You know, it's not something that it's not something that I don't eat a lot of. So it'd be unlikely that my body would associate chocolate with anything like. I mean, it only associates it with things that I don't eat regularly. So for me, chocolate is sugar, because I know that you can get like 99% pure and all that, but it's it's just not something that I eat. However, what I was thinking about is like I don't know if it's a craving, but it's something that I really feel like eating like several times a week, and it's shrimp. And in Spain, like shrimp's not, you can get it quite easily, and it's not dead cheap, but it's something that you can do like a few times a week. It's okay. And I kind of crave that, and like I've started eating quite a lot of it, and I was wondering, what is it that I crave in that, if anything. And so it turns out that shrimp, I've got loads of magnesium in them. And it's like, so I'm craving something which just so happens to not be like particularly bad for you. It's not like I'm craving, well, I mean, it depends who you ask. Some people would say that shrimp's no good for you because it's got loads of cholesterol in it and all stuff like that, but I don't suck the head, and you know what I mean. It's like I'm not really that interested in dietary cholesterol. I don't have, my blood works all fine. It's not an issue. I don't worry about it at all. And but like it was interesting to me that where someone might be craving chocolate, I'm craving shrimp. And it's like, you can eat shrimp and it's not going to make you fat. It's got loads of protein in it. It's it's got hardly any fat. It's fat. It's good. It's good for you. Whereas someone else might be craving chocolate, and like you might be like, so chocolate for them is a chocolate bar, and then it's like there's not much magnesium in a chocolate bar, but for them it's like the only thing that the way that they're getting it, that the brain is associates with it. And so they'll like compulsively eat stuff that's like just no good for them. And so kind of got me thinking of like, I mean, I always say that eating healthily gets you into a virtuous cycle, but it really does, because if you're exposing your body to lots of healthy, to like nutrient dense food, and it can like figure out where the nutrients are coming from in each of these things, then when you start craving things, you're going to crave things that aren't like terrible for you. And so the way I typically eat shrimp is like, I'll make my own mayonnaise, which is just like a raw egg, and I beat olive oil into it until you do it bit by bit with like the hand blender, and until it goes thick. Like at a certain concentration of oil, it goes thick. And I suspect it's got something to do with the fat in the yolk, because you can't make it with egg whites, it's got to be egg yolk. And you can also make it with full fat milk. You can't make it with semi milk, it doesn't work. And if you put too much oil in, then it starts to go runny again. But if you put like a little bit of cream in it, if you're making it with milk, then it starts to work again. So I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with the fat, like emulsifying or something. Anyway, so and I also put like a load of garlic in it, like 2 or 3 great big cloves in there. You can get some great garlic in Spain. This is you can see like how big this head of garlic is, and it's from this one's from a place in Madrid called Chinchon, which just so happens to be where I got married, which was all really totally incidental and irrelevant. But so that's really, and I also crave that probably because of the garlic. When I've got I've just got over a cold. So I had I think a couple of weeks ago I had like a cold for about a day, and every time I get a cold, before I get any symptoms, that's when I feel bad, and then as soon as I get the symptoms, I feel fine. But what always happens is it always ends up going to my chest, and I suspect it's because I had my tonsils out when I was a kid. But anyway, so when that happens, I always crave garlic as well, and that's because it loosens it all up and makes it easy to expel. So now I've got a little bit of a cough because I can feel the looseness in my chest, but it's coming out because I eat loads of garlic. I mean, I eat like racehorse quantities of garlic. And my wife is like, "You eating garlic at me?" When she's over the other side of the room telling me. So what I'm basically getting at is there's we shouldn't, it's better for you to eat like fresh veg and meats and fish and expose your body to nutrient dense food, and that way when you're more likely to crave nutrient dense food rather than crap. It's I don't know, it's like if you've got if all you've got is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It's a bit like that. If your only tools are crappy food, then you're going to crave crappy foods to sort of try and fill your nutrient gaps, because we're overfed but undernourished. I really think that that's the case, and you've got to actually go out your way to to make sure that you're not undernourished. One of the things that I wasn't, so I was taking magnesium oxide for capsules, because I'd heard that magnesium is usually the thing when you've got cramps. That's usually the things that's causing it, because everyone says potassium. Eat a banana, even though broccoli's got more potassium than bananas have. But anyway, so I was taking magnesium oxide, and I just did a quick search on ChatGPT about what's the bioavailability of magnesium supplements, and it just came up with 10 things, and I can't remember what they are, but there's all different types of magnesium that you can just buy. So there's magnesium oxide, there's magnesium chloride, there's magnesium acetate, there's magnesium this and that, and they all do different things. Well, some of them, but basically magnesium oxide isn't particularly good for your body. Doesn't take it up as magnesium, but apparently it is very good if you've got apparently they use it as a laxative, and it's also it's good for sorting out upset stomachs and stuff like that. So great, but I was looking for a supplement to stop me getting cramps, and it's just no good. That's so now I've looked into that. So if you've got apparently cramps, muscle spasms, eye twitches and things like that, because I had an eye twitch just like me eye, well not my eye but just below my eye, was given it all of that a few weeks ago. I didn't know that it could be just a magnesium, but magnesium deficiency. So it is something that I'm going to look into, and I'll get back to you about. But as I mentioned before, I was taking AG1. Obviously I've been propagandised about it. Everyone takes it, and I thought, it's a bit expensive, but I'll give it a go. See what I know that it won't do me any harm to supplement. But I was really surprised of how little it made any change at all. So I don't know if it's maybe if I was just on a really crappy diet and I get start taking AG1, then maybe that would make the world of difference, but it really didn't to me. And it's really expensive. It's I can't remember exactly, but something like 80 or 90 euros a month, like to take it. And like if you think, well, it's €3 a day, that's like going out for a coffee or something every day. But still, it's expensive. It's like, it's more than gym membership, or, well, depending on, but you can get, here in Spain, you can easily sign up for a gym for like, I don't know, €20 a month or something like that. I mean, it's like a crappy low cost one. But I was doing jiu-jitsu for like €52 a month. So like, put that in perspective, you can go and do a martial arts class, 3 times a week for, for much less than it costs to have AG1. So not that I'm bashing AG1, I'm just saying, for me, for someone who like, actually does cook stuff and, watches what he eats and things like that, then it's, it doesn't compensate. But I'm definitely going to start looking into more into supplementation and things like that, because it was shocking to me that I didn't realise that me craving shrimp was probably me magnesium deficiency. And funnily enough, like when I do eat more shrimp, I mean, this is just kind of anecdotally, but I do get less cramps. So, anyway, I'll let you know when I'm actually properly supplementing. But other things that I do take, so I'm a massive fan of vitamin C. I've got like a big, there's me vitamin C jar, and if I start to feel a little bit, feel tickle in the throat, so you can feel a cold coming on. Before I go to bed, I'll have like, I don't know, 8 grams of it or something like that in water, and totally sorts me out. It's only when like something really heavy. Usually it's a combination. When I get like a cold in the end, it's usually a combination of me being like particularly tired and or stressed, plus me remembering to take vitamin C when I'm already in bed and I'm just like, oh, I can't be bothered. And it's like it's like a compound thing, but me not being bothered is probably also due to the fact that I'm so tired. So it's like there's a vicious circle for it. But vitamin C is just like, I totally swear by it. It's just it was a game changer when I realised, when I heard about vitamin C, and it's, that's not expensive to take. And what's also like a little life hack here, when you're taking vitamin C, so it's an acid, so it's like, when you have it in water, it's like, bleh. So one way, well, I don't even know how I discovered this, but I was just it just like came to me. If you put a little bit of salt in, so if like, obviously, if you go and have water with like between 8 and, I mean, I take, depending on how I feel, between 8 and 15 grams in one go. I don't do this every day, but it's just when I'm feeling a bit under the weather. And so that much with in water is quite tarty. It's like, but if you put like a little bit of salt in, it just totally makes it totally drinkable. And like the platinum level hack is, if you, instead of just like tap water, you put like a bit of fizzy water in it. It just feels like a really refreshing drink. It's like, like your body, at least me, my body goes, oh yeah, give me it, I love it. Because it was just like, a bit of salty vitamin C, making it a bit kind of fruity, and like the fizz, it's like, oh, great. So yeah, definitely recommend doing that. Definitely have vitamin C in your cupboard so that you can take it when you need to. And other things, now that I'm on the topic of like little things that we take, so I don't know if I've ever mentioned that, I probably have. I fast on a Sunday. It's just good for me health, like brain wise, my mental health, of like just having a bit of, I'm not going to it today, and my body just goes, okay. And so it kind of resets everything to do with like I feel like it resets my relationship with food, like especially because on Saturday I kind of like have a day off, and I just like, I'll eat whatever the kids are eating, like, oh, pizza time, yeah, great, Dad, do you want some ice cream, go on, and I'll do that. And kind of some days when I get up, I don't usually feel that great anyway, because of like a food hangover. But the just like fasting on a Sunday really does me good. But I'll have like if I have like a herbal tea or something like that, I put a little bit of vinegar in, like a little bit of what's it called, like cider vinegar. It's just one, yeah, like apple vinegar, cider vinegar. And like to me brain it like it's like, ooh, this tastes kind of like food. And I have a horsetail. I really like horsetail, and so I have that with just a little bit of vinegar, and it just feels great. It just makes me feel really good. And so I recommend that, if you're going to fast or something. I don't mean if you're doing like a long, like you're doing a proper like getting into autophagy. I don't know if I've ever said that word out loud. But like basically getting your body to like eat the bad stuff. Then I don't know if you can do it then. I don't do it then. If I'm just doing a water fast, it's just a water fast. But if you just like sort of doing it like to have, a day off eating and sort of get your weekly calorie balance sort of into some kind of normal parameters after going to town on a Saturday, then I think it's good. And so that way it just feels good. Anyway, I am done for today. Cooking my lunch. I will now eat my lunch. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that. Download the ebook. So it'll be in the description. And if you do, let me know how you get on. And DM me, whatever. We can chat. If there's any questions anyone has or whatever, just let me know. And yeah. So this is a bit roasting. I always go downstairs. I tend to eat in front of the computer. Because I'm starving, I always end up burning my mouth. Because I'm like a fool like that. And this is the salmon skin stuck to the bottom. There we go. I just love the salmon skin, I really like it. It's probably because I don't eat meat. There's probably something in that I crave. Anyway, see you around. Thanks for watching, and speak to you soon.